Hey everyone. I was told this was bound to happen in any trader's journey. And for a little bit, I thought that I was immune to it. After all, I've had no major issues in the last 7 months of active high volume trading. Well, rules are rules, even if they are unwritten. Recently, I've lost over 1400 USDT in one day. Let's see what happened. The day was pretty slow to start off with only a few trades totaling about 20 USDT. At the end of the day, I refreshed my Profit Sharks dashboard one last time and I saw this. Going to sleep at this point did not seem like a possible option until I have figured out at least the overall picture of what went down. Out of my 20 active sub-accounts, only 3 survived with a positive P&L. Some suffered moderate losses, while others were completely destroyed, far beyond any reason or any of my auto-stop settings. What do you do in a situation like this? Except keep way calmer than you probably should. First, I checked whether the activity had passed, and so it did. No new surprises to worry about. Then, I went through all accounts one by one in the terminal, looking for positions that might still remain open. And I did find this guy, just one, at minus 34 USDT. I closed it manually, and in the grander scheme of things, this seemed like a drop in the bucket. At the same time, I was looking for accounts that have not been auto-stopped, and I found only 2 of them. Now, feeling reasonably safe about my remaining deposit, I went to investigate. Taking a look at the Bitcoin graph, nothing seemed too crazy or out of the ordinary. In the span of about 20 minutes, Bitcoin lost about 3% of its value in 3 distinct dips. The first dip was around 601, measuring less than 1%. The second dip was at around 604, down about 1.2%, and the third one was at 615, down a further 1.2%. Again, nothing special at all. Jumping a bit ahead, further proof comes from the reports, where the maximum detected 5-minute absolute delta for Bitcoin was a modest 1.39%. My high Bitcoin algos were specifically written for this kind of behavior, so what gives? Taking a brief look at the reports in the terminal, in the vast majority of cases, I saw something that looked like this. First, some normal trading behavior with a healthy mix of profits and losses, and then at some point, a string of absolutely devastating losses followed by complete silence, because autostops had been engaged. I started opening the graphs for some of those losses at the tail end of the activity, and this part will be unscripted with commentary recorded right as I was reviewing the trades. So let's go. Alright, let's see the reports now for what happened for the losses. Look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it? So the position was opened somewhere here at 1804.46 and then closed here at 1804.59. So that's about 13 seconds that it remained open, and it had plenty of chances to be closed at a take profit. For example, here it was at 0.3 my take profit. Well, barely, but yeah, it could have. And then it could have closed at a real stop loss at 0.2, which is somewhere around here. But no, it really remained open up until this point. And you can see the take profit line. It starts only somewhere over here. So for this amount of time, 58.46 for 12 seconds, I had an open position with no stop loss, with no take profit. And then when finally the exchange got its crap together, they have been placed, the orders for stop loss and for take profit, and that's where the price was at the time. So in the grander scheme of things, we are here, this is the buy order, and we are on a very downward trend. So in the first wave here, we're doing okay because we got the sell order, but here, this is the picture that we have. Let's check out some more trades. Here, exactly the same thing. Yeah, so right over here, we're all good. Look at this. This works beautifully. And then at this particular point, no. Next. Again, loss here at, well, 0.8% is not so bad, but still the timing of it, 48.54, which is about 8 seconds, okay. Still at the same point in time. Yeah, so here we have got nothing, and here we've got this position. Now, if we were to check out, like, for example, this loss, this makes sense, probably. Yeah, so there was a shot right here, and it went up. Well, let's try 104, 140, I mean. Here, 144. Okay, 4 seconds was the loss, -1. Yeah, that's not great either, actually. Okay, if we try and look at earlier trades, yeah, we see them all here. Comp, let's see, comp. Again, pretty chill. And then there were no trades down here. That's why this particular coin, that's why this coin is safe. So that's one account. And we can see that the losing trades started closing at about 18:04.53. So let's look around that time, because this, yeah, 46. Yeah, let's see this one first. Yeah, this looks pretty fine to me. So at 18:02, 18:01, everything seems to be working fine. Let's go to another account. So in this account right here, we have a pretty similar situation. The losses started at 18:04.50. Yeah, that's pretty close to where we started losing. Here, I don't even know what's going on here. This is the buy order. This is where it closed. This is some liquidation point. Let's see what happened prior to that. Again, we're here on this downward trend. And here on the first one, there was nothing. So in the first part, nothing. Then we have these crazy losses. And then another dip, but here, no orders at all. Before that, let's see. For example, this coin, 18:02. At 18:02, it seemed okay. Here, we're fine. Here, I don't know what happened. Yeah, this is a stop loss for some reason, but it's positive. I have no idea what happened here. So here on this dip at 18:01, we're fine. And here we had no orders, so this coin was safe. The pattern repeats itself. Let's see account number 3. So account number 3 is the only one that was very successful. It had 21 profits and only 4 losses. And here we've got 1 loss during this crazy time that I've just talked to you about. And then there were other losses, but these seem to be the algorithms working correctly. Like right here, seems okay, fine. This one, again, pretty fine. So on the first dip, here we have, so that's the last dip. So on the first dip, we have no trades at 18:01, at 18:02. Okay, so the first dips here, we're good. Here on this one, no orders even are placed here, no orders, so we are safe. And then on this next dip at 18:06, there is some stuff going on, not too great, but okay. So the last trades I have at 18:15 right here, which is, yeah, it works pretty nicely here. And then at the previous dip at 18:04, so here I've got on this trend line, on this line there's nothing, no orders even. Here I've got some orders here, and then I've got an order here, but this is pretty normal operation. So in this particular point in time where all the crap happened, so from around here to around here, there were no orders pretty much anywhere in this case. Let's see.
0450, so there's only one trade in this crazy time. And this one, it's a loss, but it's an okay loss. So it took it 44.56 seconds. Okay, that's not perfect, but it's much better. It's much better, and the loss is 32%. So this account operated pretty smoothly, and I mean, after that, after 05, 06, it's doing quite well. I mean, I'm surprised. Somehow it survived. So if we go by coin, let's see where we have a lot of trades, like bond, for example. Bond looks pretty good. So let's see what happened here. So 1801, 1802, first dip, some orders, but no shots, no positions opened. And here we see that at 1804, again, nothing. And then at the very end of it, it starts, and there is a pretty good take because we got it on the very low, and then the take was on the high end of it. And here we've participated actually in this dip as well, and it was pretty profitable. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, at least 3 trades. So the other accounts were dropped out by auto stops, but here it wasn't. So it got more. So after that delay, after the lag, let's see what happened. 7, 6, 5. Yeah, so let's stay around here. So we've got plus 134 at 18%. That's pretty good. Now, and before that, it wasn't even that bad before that. So this account somehow survived. Yeah, 103. So this is pretty good. It worked as intended. It worked as intended, and it didn't open any positions here in this crazy time. So let's go to another account, number 4. Here, account number 4 is at minus 50. And here these positions were not so great. So at what time were these opened? At 1804, again, this is the perfect time to open the losing position. So here we've got 2 of them closing at 457. I mean, at 457. This is H bar. Here we've got minus 90 at minus 0.3%. And then it still survived. It wasn't kicked out. But then there was this trade right here. Again, on the second dip, 1804.53, pretty bad. How long was that? 448, 510, so 12 seconds. Again, let's see where our take profit was. Yeah, so take profit was placed somewhere over here. And then, yeah, it barely had a chance here. I don't even know what's going on. So yeah, it barely had a chance. And then the loss was here. But what's interesting is that the stop loss is closed here, but then for 4 more seconds, I still have a take profit order for some reason here. And again, this pattern repeats. For here, for example, look, the position is closed here, and then the take profit still stays open from 458 to 507 for another 9 seconds. The exchange was working very, very slowly. So minus 50, that's not too bad. But let's check the worst account. Worst account, this one is 17. Look at this baby, minus 349. And that's with auto stop at 80 USDT. That is absolutely crazy. So let's see what we've got here. 1805.25, and it was open at 04.39. again, this is all this crazy time. And so before that, it was doing okay, even through these losses, it's fine. So the last take was here. Here we've got some takes at 01, at 02 we've got some losses. Doesn't look too nice, but it's a decent percentage. Okay, 0.8, fine. 0.17, not too nice, but fine. Then here we've got a profit at 02.59, and then for this particular coin on this dip, nothing happened. But, and of course I didn't participate here because it was blown out by AutoStop. But then look at this. Just take a look at this. What in the world is this? Just look. This, fine, okay, but here, Jesus. 506, 439. So this was for 24, 26 seconds, and the percentage is -7. Come on, people. Okay, that's 20th leverage. Let's look at this one. Again, same thing. This one. Same thing. This one. Same thing. I don't even know when this was opened. Yeah, on the first dip, fine, great. Here, absolute trash. This one, again, same story. First dip, okay, it's a loss, but it's a fair loss, okay? It's a fair loss at -5.1. I don't mind that at all. Here, the worst. Here, we did not participate at all. This one, same story. Absolutely the same story. It had so many opportunities to do a stop loss at 0.2 somewhere all the way up to here. No. And then it could have made a take profit. Well, that's unlikely, but fine. Yeah, so this is the worst. This is the worst account because many positions were opened at exactly the same time. Well, this is a liquidation, but it's not too big. Here, 0440, 0438, 0441. So I had all of these positions opened at exactly the same time within the 3 seconds where the terminal lost control of the whole thing. And now we're at -380. Yeah. Not so great. And this stuff happens everywhere. So let's take this one. So here, this account is also doing pretty badly at -205. Look at this. Look at this. STRK. It looks like I'm going to have a stroke looking at this. This is perfect. Just take a look at this. 2 positions opened. I don't even know. This does not look like a shot to me at all. So there was no movement of orders, nothing. It just opened in the middle of whatever the hell this was and then closed here. I mean, what in the world is this? And here, what is that? Now, prior to that, in the first dip, we had nothing. So this coin only here. But these are enough. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, what can I say? The story goes the same for everything. I mean, you can pick a random account, like, I don't know, let's go for 7. Yeah, here we've got 2 losses. 1, 2. All at the same time. They opened. When did they open? 4 minutes, 50 seconds, 4 minutes, 44 seconds. Again, blown out. Luna, exactly the same story here. Opened wherever. Nothing happened. So here in the first one at 1803 even, good job. Here, very poor job. -170 at one shot. -6.4% at leverage 20. Okay. Yeah, again, the next dip, nothing here because of auto stops. I mean, any random account. This one. Again, minus 19. But then we've got this beauty. Again, it looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. And it opened, I don't even know. Was this a shot? What was the shot? Just lost control totally. Nothing here on the first dip and nothing here.
Now that we've looked at the graphs, it's time for a deeper analysis. As you may have seen, I've noticed that most of this strange, unintended behavior happened during a very specific time range. So after exporting the reports and analyzing them, I found it exactly. I now call it the 33 seconds of death. That sounds about right. Out of the total result of minus 1411, those 33 seconds contributed minus 2,373 USDT. Now that's what I call a beating. This translates to minus 72 USDT per second. If I were to isolate all the trades during the day that happened outside this deadly time range, in what I would call normal operation, we'd see that the result is a respectable plus 962 USDT. The profit-to-loss ratio is not that great, but the ROE is 53%, which is more than satisfactory. Now, let's see what the key differences are between normal and abnormal operation. When working as intended, the average profit was at 0.7% and the average loss at 0.8%. Pretty neat actually, almost 1-to-1. In contrast, during the 33 seconds of death, the average profit was 0.5%, and there have been only 13 of them, but the average loss was a massive 3%, at an appalling profit-to-loss ratio of 0.3. Only 4 losses out of the 42 were below 1%, let alone below the algo stop loss of 0.2%. And the greatest of them was at minus 7.8%. Money was being flushed down the drain left and right. But the most apparent difference is in the open position duration. In normal operation, the average time to close was 4 seconds, which is at the upper limit of what I consider acceptable. The median was 2 seconds and the mode was 1. Now, compare that with this. An average of 17 seconds, and both the median and the mode are at 24 seconds. That is complete lottery territory, and luck was definitely not on my side that day. Then I wondered, what could be the reason for most of my Moontrader cores losing control of orders and positions and getting into such a mess? Well, latency. Here is a familiar picture. If I were to convert this time to my terminal time, then right around the moment of my 33 seconds of death, the latency skyrockets and literally goes off the chart. Now, how about those protections that I was so proud about a few videos ago? Due to quite strict settings for latency, Bitcoin deltas, distances, and autostops. Well, all were in place, same as before. But apparently they were not good enough or did not work this time around. For any protection to work, there has to be at least some communication between the core and the exchange. With positions stuck open with no take profit and no stop loss for around 20 seconds at a time, there seems to have been no communication. I guess the only, or one of the only protections that does not necessarily need two-way communication is the order time window, which is like an expiry date for your order when it is being sent to the exchange. Mine was set at 1.5 seconds. In regular human terms, this is pretty short. But now that I think about it, and especially looking at this graph here, most normal behavior seems to concentrate at or below 0.2 seconds. And right here, we see that there is almost no data at all in this area. So it seems that setting a very small order time window might have allowed my algos to not participate in this craziness at all. Okay, but once you do get into this mess, the next level of protection are the stop losses, which, as you have seen, have been way too slow to materialize, leaving me highly exposed. I created a column in my reports to compare the actual loss with the very theoretical liquidation level based on leverage. By the way, how liquidation levels actually work is way more complicated than that. But here, in simple terms, for normal operation, out of 65 losses, I have only 2 that went a bit beyond the theoretical liquidation level. Here, on the other hand, out of 42 losses, I have 17 that went beyond, which in percentage terms was exactly a third of all trades. I have rechecked the balances the following day, and it seems that Binance has compensated me only about 100 USDT. I then tried to find some pattern between the performance of my different accounts. Here in this quick table, out of 20 accounts, 3 ended up profitable and 2 avoided being auto-stopped. It just so happens that only a few hours prior to the event, I made sure to restart all my cores and make sure that they are fresh and have no issues. I have collated the number of unique coins and concurrent orders running on each account. All were pretty similar, running between 40 and 52 concurrent orders on 10 to 13 coins. It did not seem to have made a big difference. We have 10 coin accounts doing fine and doing badly. On the other extreme, we have 13 coin accounts doing neutrally or extremely badly. In the middle, we have 12 coin accounts, one doing extremely well, and the other biting the dust. Order size did not seem to have a meaningful effect either. I've upped my order sizes recently from 1300 USDT up to 2500 where available margin allowed. But here I see that both small and large orders were doing badly. I also see large order sizes doing neutral to well. I've also checked the types of virtual servers I was using. I have a mix of Lightsail and EC2, and neither is a clear winner. Neither is without fault. So in the end, this appears to be more or less just bad luck. I mean, I cannot find anything really in particular that I did wrong. As a precaution, I have tightened the order time window on half of my accounts to see what effect that might have in comparison next time. But I mean, is it really possible to actually isolate the effects of this one setting when all goes crazy? I had the very same settings everywhere with the exception of what coins went into the whitelist, and it got me anywhere from plus 237 to minus 350 per account. Better luck next time, I guess. Just for the fun of it, I've looked at my total risk exposure that I apparently find acceptable. If you total all my auto stops on all accounts, you end up with minus 1600 USDT. I guess I got off easy this time. We'll see how fast I can recoup this. Which brings us to show me the money. Since last time, I'm down 853 USDT. Well, actually, it's a little bit better than that. You see, I've launched a limited trial run of depth shots with large order sizes, and they brought in 78 USDT. I ended up tracking them in a separate file, which I'll explain later why. So with that in mind, I'm only down 775 USDT. Oh well. Oh well. Did we actually learn anything today? This video to me seems like an eyewitness describing a dumpster fire. And I'm actually quite surprised at how calm and detached my own internal witness has been in its reaction from the very first second. I remember being more frustrated at losing 15 USDT all at once back in the day, and the same when my natural selection strategy stopped working. I guess the only way to see how you'll react is to actually go through it, much like everything else in life. And the analysis did help, since now I know that I've done all I could, and when working as intended, the algos actually made money. Only during those 33 seconds, the abnormal behavior swept away a lot of what I've made before. There is nothing left to do but accept this. Accept this and move on. Jeez, I feel like I'm writing a self-help book, and maybe I should. Yeah, but seriously, what's gone is gone. Seeing how they've been so consistently profitable for so long, I cannot be too hard on these algos. There's nothing wrong with you guys. Get up, dust yourself off, and let's go.